Hello everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight. Soon, as I should have expected, an event on cannabis. We all have cotton mouths, so there is going to be a table back there with some glasses and some water in just a second. If you need any restrooms at all, they'll be over here. They're in the back there. There's one restroom. Welcome. Thank you all for being here tonight. Appreciate it. How many people have this? This is your first ERIE event. Have you ever been to ERIE events before? Who has not been to an ERIE event before? All right, welcome, folks. So my name's Larry. I'm the co-founder and executive director of ERIE. ERIE is a 501c3 nonprofit. We stand for Entheogenic Research, Integration, and Education. And we look at different ways to educate people about the varieties of different psychedelic and entheogenic plants out there and fungus, as well as ways to bring people back. We started off as a student group at CIS about 4 or 5 years ago. Indigo was in the group as well, so we had quite a good time over there. We had our first conference in 2012, which is amazing. And ever since then, Indigo, I'm replacing your name with cannabis now. Indigo has been kind of our cannabis expert, so it's been really nice. He's been really weaving in a lot of conversations about the spiritual aspects of cannabis and other varieties of ways to look at this that isn't just your sort of typical cannabis conversation. So it's been really great. We've been having this conversation for a bit. Dr. Detroit or Mike Whitty over here, and also Amanda. We've been having kind of a nice little conversation about what's kind of the next step now that we're here. Cannabis has been legalized recreationally here. We're also in a new situation as far as the presidential elections are concerned. What does that look like? What's the next step? But how do we take it farther? How do we take it past that? Obviously, the money and the politics are one aspect of it, but what's it look like 10 years down the road where cannabis has been legalized for most people? What does that world look like? So we're going to explore that a little bit tonight. So we have 3 different speakers, and I don't have your guys' bio, but I'm going to give a little mini bio. But I know everybody. The first speaker tonight will be Mike, and he's from Detroit. He's done a lot of wonderful things. Let me get your bio. So, Professor Mike Whitty from the University of Michigan, and he teaches drug policy reform in the public health policy program. He's also published and researched papers on the impact of treating marijuana, much like alcohol. Professor Whitty has appeared on radio and TV and lectured worldwide on the topic for over 40 years. After that, we'll have Indigo speak. And Indigo, as I mentioned before, was a student at CIS, is a PhD candidate now, writing his dissertation, so I'll touch a little bit on that as well. And he is currently working in the cannabis movement as well. And he'll explain a little bit more. And then Amanda over here, the Drug Policy Alliance, and she's kind of our policy expert on stage here. It's going to be exciting to hear her in-depth perspective and view of what's going on and what she sees as the future iterations of this work. So that'll be the setup. We'll do 15 minutes for each talk, and then after that, we'll open up the floor. I'll give everyone an opportunity to have some dialogue, conversations, have any questions. We'll have a mini break in between all that, so you can use the restroom if you need. And without further ado, a big round of applause for Dr. Detroit, Mike Whitty.
Are we okay? Is this mic working?
Yep.
Good. Well, I want to dedicate the night Dennis Perrone, who I met in the Ozark National Forest in southern Missouri at a rainbow gathering coming out of Detroit. And I met him there. I said, I'm headed to San Francisco to teach at San Francisco State. Could I look you up? So I want to salute Dennis Perrone for a lot of things, including 215 and the concept that all use is medical use, which transforms the dichotomy and the heated debate that goes on between the medical camp and those focused on medical intensely with the broader recreational community. It's very diverse, as we all know. And I want to honor the other brothers, Brian and Jeff, who are here tonight as well. They have brought me the true hospitality that San Francisco has to offer strangers from the Midwest. So I salute Brian and Jeff and of course Dennis and his community. That's something kind of special. got me to pick up a rainbow spirit named Dr. Detroit. And I honor Ed Breslin, a real healer in my life and helping my wife with her aches and pains. And he's a medicine man, so if you want to meet a kind of a regular guy who's also a medicine man, you can check with, not just Ed, there's probably a whole bunch of secret shamans in the crowd. Probably 4/5 of the crowd are shamans in training, right? And healers. So all of this is a real honor to me, because I saw the use of cannabis with the AIDS crisis when I arrived here in 1985, and I was introduced to people dying on the streets with no meds. The only thing that kept people going was their weight, their appetite, and that bought them a little time and gave them a little more energy, and cannabis gave people a medicine. In fact, Dennis coined the concept that all use is medical use, and I began to see how it could relieve people in his clinic of the blues, to talk about the blues when you're on the death's door. And I met people who were facing death because they opened their hearts, and they were therefore not so terrified of death, though they were damn unhappy about the circumstances they were in. They were certainly not joyous, but the cannabis gave them moments of joy in the clinic, and it reminded me that we all ought to have a Irish wake or a New Orleans style funeral, and we ought to plan our funeral in advance so we could attend it and have a good time at the party. So I could see the cannabis having a terrific value for hospice, for the Shanti Project, for the holding the hands of the dying, for holding your heart open in the face of Alzheimer's or your parents' death or something else that's part of your drama and your trauma and maybe part of your healing. So it's a summer of love. And Sandy Sunchild used to have me come in here and she'd regale me with the rooms upstairs. You really ought to check in on your honeymoon or something. Or tell friends from Missouri or coming for a look at Haight-Ashbury. They can see it upstairs or in this place just as genuinely as the Zam Zam room or any other great relics we have down the street. For me, frankly, cannabis is a truth serum of love. It is a sacred herb that I try to bring intention to. It takes me within, allows me to do a lot of dancing that I wouldn't dream of doing if I wasn't a little bit high. But more than that, it's a doorway to enlightened perception and appreciation of what's in front of us, appreciation of the life experience. It's a doorway to your psyche and your spirit. I think we all know that. It brings out our inner guide or our intuition. It opens our heart to appreciate moments like this and the people around us, all that is, offering each other more attention and appreciation and more acceptance and love, getting close to people without feeling threatened. How great. I had a drum circle in Detroit that was in a devastated neighborhood. It was quite dangerous, and I used to think, will I get shot or arrested? Which will come first? But I learned to cross generational lines with a joint. It was young and old, black and white, and rich and poor. And most of us don't hang out with the homeless folks. We don't. We might make a donation and a prayer, but we really aren't really totally able to cross boundaries so easily without something like this mother plant, something like the letting go and trusting life and trusting others and opening your heart is my way of expressing it. It allows you to cross terrain and brings you in contact with people far more than most anything else we have in a world that is suburbanized and fractionated, not in community, except in very dense cities and in special neighborhoods or with intentional schools or intentional gatherings like this. But the vast world is broken a bit and needs mending and healing, and it needs our love and it needs our help. And I think that it offers us a pathway to a friendly, emotional, and social bonding with everybody. That can lead to societal change in the direction of peacemaking, badly needed, and a live and let live attitude for the possible future and the possible human, a return to community. Maybe a loving communication with positive politics, hope, and joy in the Trump era. I ain't scared of no ghost. I'm not going to get all more fear and more anger. No way. I'm going to be finding my way with cannabis to a happy, live and let live attitude across the board with all that is. like Wilbur and integral theory and Sri Aurobindo and so forth. It's all one, and we're all in this together on the ride, on the rafting journey of life. So positive politics with hope and joy is a very good New Year's resolution for me, but I'm really digging deeper than the news. I want to find my lost tribe and discover all my relations, to accept more of life and a deeper and sweeter moment-by-moment mindfulness. And offering me a deeper way of communing with everyone, finding the best of settings, which Amanda's going to address concretely. With serious intention, we can achieve emotional healing, more than just fun and relaxation. We can have self-acceptance, I'm still working on it, and appreciation for all of life itself, an embrace of nature, which is so inviting here in the area. A friend of mine's up in the woods. We all need to be up in the woods more, out in the city, out of doors, in the park, the magnolias, in the botanical garden. You know what I mean? Get in there with nature as much as you can, because we're all city folks, more or less. A few outliers here, but mostly we're city folks. But we're also elders, healers, shamans, the light on the path to offer the best set and settings for psycho-spiritual use of cannabis that you can invent or devise collectively, or even in your own private sitting, your meditation, your breathing, what you do in a quiet walk in the woods, however you take care of yourself when you're on your own. So yes, to some degree, all use is medical use. If we see recreational as a means of relaxing, having less stress in our life, more peace of mind, then we're looking for that happiness, joy, and play, and cannabis assists on all fronts. Not to mention creativity and artistic expression, where it's also a very, very remarkable opening to those things that are not verbal, those things that are not mental, memes that get repeated in our head. Something about our spirit nature, the magic within us, the magic that surrounds us, the interpenetration of magic. Something that gets you to become a shaman, a healer, a mystic, maybe just a mysterious person. In some way, I think it's got really great possibilities for how we see, think, and feel about life, how we handle illness, stress, daily chores, decisions that create the sense of life's meaning and ultimate value, our legacy. We just have to be sure that we're creating our own future. We empower ourselves to continue to reinvent ourselves and create our own future for as much inner peace and outer peace as we can muster with mindfulness. We can view the world as something that is influenced by our behavior, and the possible future is what I'm talking about, becoming futurists. Building a life legacy with as clean intentionality as you can muster. And don't sell yourself short. You can think big, in fact, you've got a big job of being a human being. But you're part of the whole journey with all the rest of us on this ship, so we should relax and enjoy each other and trust each other. It's well worth the risk. And I can say that from trusting one of the toughest neighborhoods in Detroit and not having been shot or arrested. So I offer you good news from Detroit in that respect. You can trust people. Most people are going to be friendly if you're friendly. Thank heavens for that, if nothing else. So let me just touch on a couple of quick things here and wrap it up. I think you should restart your lifelong vision quest using whatever self-help process and ritual that's meaningful to you. I think of silent sitting, Zen sitting, meditation, quiet walks, fire pits, dancing, yoga, all the supportive retreat groups that we can create for ourselves, guided journeys and healing and deep insight, and bringing the process and ritual aspects to from the theogenic practices around psychedelics and ayahuasca, and mushrooms, and MDMA and so forth, to bring all those practices to intentional settings for healing and ritual use of cannabis. Let's learn from our cousins in the psychedelic world. And then, of course, we want more peace, acceptance, and joy by expanding human consciousness and improving mental health. I think cannabis has a role in both arenas. psycho-spiritual, I call it, attempting to heal our lives with right attitude. Cannabis can bring about less psychological stress, more a nonviolent mind, and less social aggression, and help people discover their inner guide and listen to it and their sixth sense. And for skeptics, your gut feelings or heartfulness. Gut feelings and heartfulness will do fine. And spiritual seekers on Vision Quest can get deeper with the inner shaman that can be something to reassure you. That reassurance that we always are searching for and looking very hard for. So practical results are here. You can get more flexible, more self-accepting. You can have less blameology, less victimology, less self-blame, less poor me. We're just talking about acceptance. We're talking about appreciation and acceptance and gratitude. So you're going to get to your inner wisdom, you're going to get to your inner peace, you're going to get to the point where you can bring more outer peace in your household with your lovers and mates and neighbors. You're going to have more peaceful driving because you're going to be a road sage and avoid road rage. You're not going to get war with papers or TV set or national or world politics. You're not going to be at war with the world. You're going to reinvent your way of seeing the world. You're going to get into Lakoff's reframing of how we hold our values, stressing the positive rather than the negative. So I think our journey here is to bring more soul into our life by way of cannabis, opening the doors of perception to our universal connectedness, more human unity, conscious evolution, paradigm of fear will be transformed to one of love and joy. Your personal journey for self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, and an open heart toward life, giving you the capacity to use your own guts, brains, and compassion more completely and more confidently, but softly with kindness and love. Guts, brains, and compassion. And I just leave you with this one prayer or mantra that will help us enjoy the whole experience and integrate more of it and be more conscious more of the time. We can have a little bit of solitude. A whole lot of gratitude for being right here together. A little bit of solitude, a whole lot of gratitude, and a loving attitude, and a little bit of cannabis. A little bit of solitude, a whole lot of gratitude, a loving attitude with the goddess as our guide, the sacred herb. Thank you.